All right. Good morning, everyone. Just want to apologize for first off for not making any video lessons recently. Um, I quit my job, and so I am looking for a new job currently. I'm looking for something part time, and that'll work around my trading schedule. So as of right now, I'm trading full time until I can get a part time job, and been a little lazy past couple weeks. I can't lie. It's been nice having um, you know some time off finally, and past couple weeks have not been the best trading weeks. Just mistiming a lot of plays, taking a lot of stupid trades. So trying to kind of get back to it this week, and just stay on top of it, and try to get some consistency back. So two trades this morning. We'll start with ACET. It was my one loss on the day. Nice, got a nice gap up on news. I think they were just upgrading it from just dollar range. They're just saying like it's worth 33 instead of 22 now, I think it was. So nasty downtrending chart. Got volume, nice gap up, but then faded. Tried to hold up, but washed out. So I'm kind of just thinking it's the same thing now that I'm looking at it. It's just got a nice gap up. Excuse me. And it's most likely just going to fade. So let's dive into the 1 day here. It was holding up really nicely. So I saw this, what is this, a pennant. And so I took some on this dip, on this candle here at 1383, basically just risking 1360s, where it kind of held here for 3 minutes. I don't know, for 3 times. And it was just making this higher low, confirming the trend. Just decided to get in on the dip when it was holding and waiting for a break. Did perk through 14, but just washed out right away, and I just cut it. So it was a small $20 loss. So what I'm risking now is 20 bucks. Brought my risk up. Trying to be able to, I mean, I don't want to think about the money. It's not about the money. It's about the pattern and the process. But instead of, I was trading such small size, I was only making five, or just a couple bucks and risking only a few bucks. So I just decided to up my risk a little bit to 20 bucks, start trying to take snipes. And, when I'm right, I'll be just way more in the green. So if I'm wrong, I'm losing 20, 40, 60 bucks, lose a few times. If I'm right, depending on what kind of size I have with my risk, only being 20 bucks, I should be at least breaking even if I just can have one good winner. So it's pretty cool. I wrote down in my journal here, what $20 risk is. If I'm risking a cent all the way up to $1, I just go up to 10 cents and then 15, 20, 30, 40 to $1. I mean, 50 to $1. And basically I'm just putting, it's 20 divided by, say I'm risking 7 cents. I can buy 285 shares. So basically whatever you want to risk dollar wise, for me, 20 bucks, whatever your risk is, like, in this case, if I was buying it at 1382, 1383, risking 1360, that's like 25 cents, 23 cents. So I could basically buy 100 shares is what I have here. 20 divided by 0.20 equals 100. So I could buy 100 shares. That's what I did. Lost 20 bucks. And so I also have that set with a $50 risk and a $100 risk. So just have a few, if I want to size up a little bit, or if I see a play that's really worth, risking a little bit more. It's nice to have it ready. I have it here at my desk next to my monitors. And So I'm terrible at math. And so it just helps me get a good visual and, develop some muscle memory on when I'm trying to buy shares. It's easier for me to know how many shares I want to buy with a certain amount of risk. So I just advise, if anyone's having trouble with that, if they're losing a little bit more than they kind of want on each trade and it's a little inconsistent, try doing this. It's basically just dollar risk divided by the difference between where you're buying and where you're risking. It's like I said, 13.83, risking 13.20. That's about a 20-cent risk. So if you're risking $20, 20 divided by 0.20, 100 shares. Pretty simple. It's a little confusing at first, especially since you don't have a visual, but just try it out, try to figure it out. And once you can figure it out and get comfortable with it, it's super easy, and it makes it a lot easier when you're buying. So stopped out on this. It is what it is. And I'm getting alerts on Rose. Keeping an eye on it, see it just fail to break down, see if we can get a perk back through VWAP and open price and start making some higher lows, maybe possibly break the high of day. It'll start to look bullish for me. It's trading good volume, almost 29 million in volume, 32 million shares outstanding, and a 425 million market cap with news. So we will see. We will see if we can just get a kind of a pop and then fade. SIG, oh, look at that. Wow, that's beautiful. Okay. I definitely should have been a lot more patient with this, and should have been thinking bigger picture. So if I go to the 1 year, no real volume days here, except for this gap up, a little bit of volume here. But today we're just trading massive volume, and so none of this really matters when it compares to like overhead resistance. It's got a couple days here with a little bit of volume, but we're trading a lot of volume. And so I was just kind of worried. It is a super low float. I think it's like a 2 million float. 1.77. Market cap is 17 million. It's trading almost 30 million in volume. So not a whole lot of overhead compared, when it comes to volume. When I was buying it, it was up here in the sevens, low mid sevens. I was just worried if it was just going to get stuffed, but it is a super low float, and I took 200 shares in here. So I started with buying 20 shares to get a feeler. As it held, I added 80 to make it 100. Then once it started confirming to push, I made it 200 shares with a really tight risk of like 725. And I bought a little too soon here, to be honest. I should have been sizing up a lot more on this candle into the 730s, because if I'm all in at 735, risking 725, that's only 10 cents. And actually, no, that was correct. 200 shares, 10-cent risk, losing $20. So it's not bad. I still could have been a little bit more patient with this buy, with my last buy here, but or with my first add. The 20 shares I'm okay with. The 80 shares I bought on this red candle, and it was just a minute too early. I would like to see this hold a little bit more, then confirm before I really kind of smack it. So you need to be a little bit more patient with letting it perk through the high, dip, hold. So I sold most of it in the 770s, and then I think on this candle here, when it had this nice perk and then dropped, it kind of made me nervous that it just wasn't going to continue. Like it was a triple top here. So I let like 25 shares ended up riding. And in hindsight, this is just beautiful. You get a good buy here. it's the higher low off VWAP, which is really nice. It's super low float, low market cap. It's just one of the things we've noticed is like the higher low off VWAP is like a really nice pattern for a first green day. In the early stage, it's in the early stage of the move. So you have to remember, like, there is no real buy here. I mean, maybe here I can see having a really tight risk when it like put in a double bottom here and confirmed VWAP. I can see here because it's also holding the trend, and you could buy off the bounce of the trend, thinking that it's going to at least test the highs here. So I can see this buy, but I should have just been more patient, and I should have, in the overall trend, this is the higher low off VWAP that starts this whole move. And I think we're halted right now. This is halted, and we're going to see a nice gap up, hopefully, before this video is over. So this is the first higher low off VWAP that kind of starts to break this trend and get this trend going. I'm just looking for, it's really just kind of going sideways, slowly grinding up, and there's no real trend. Like, it's trending, but it's trending in the up, in the upward position. Upward position. It's trending up, but very slowly, and it's really just kind of chopping sideways. And so it needs to pick a direction. If it's going to start trending down or start trending up. This was the beginning of that trend, the new trend of it continuing to go higher. And when it dipped here, it made me nervous. Like, it was like, I don't want to stop out. I was just looking good. I'm looking for that pre-market break over like 789. And that's kind of where it topped out here. So it was made me a little nervous. And even here, I sold my last 25 shares at 790, 791, or like 793. It was just when it kind of topped, and it couldn't really break above 8. I don't know. I got a little nervous, and I needed to be more patient because this dip here was really nice, that it was confirming to hold. And this little higher low here should have been adding. Whatever I kind of I sold into this pop, I should have been adding back into the 740s, high 740s, low 750s. You get a nice push, and it just never breaks down. It holds the key levels really well. It held pre-market high, basically the high here. It's never going to be to a T, but I mean it held pretty well. Made some higher lows and then started to take off, and now we're halted. And so I should have been holding through this. ACET is perking. Okay. But yeah, it was just a really nice trend, and a really nice move that I was just looking to micro and freaking myself out, selling it because I already taken a loss this morning and I don't want to take another one. And, me winning the $45 was better than risking a loss and being down $30 on the day. So I gotta stop worrying about the money. That's what happens when you worry about the money. Stick to the process and the setup, because it's held really nicely. Like I said, should have been adding shares back, and I would have got a really nice move. Let's see what CET is doing. All right, so we're getting a nice little perk through VWAP and through open price here. So I'm going to keep an eye on it, and it'll be a potential trade if we can start getting some higher lows and maybe even break this high of day. So might see another video lesson. Might make another video lesson later on if I trade this again. But we'll see. I'm going to let this try to prove itself and see if we can't get something going. But a little bit longer of a video. I apologize for not making any videos recently. I'll start getting those going again. Just been a little stressed and have been a little out of it. So hope you guys enjoyed. I hope it makes sense, and just hope you guys are learning something, and hope you guys are having a kick-ass start to the week. So I'll catch you guys later. Peace.